this video, I will explain how to disassemble and repair an angle grinder. My angle grinder, Moschir from the Stern brand, has recently started making a lot of noise. I suspect that the problem is with one of the bearings. There is a characteristic noise and sound indicating issues with the bearing. All that's left is to disassemble the angle grinder and understand what the problem is. First, we remove the cutting disc and the disc guard. Now, using a Phillips screwdriver, we best unscrew thus the motor brush covers. We pry off the cover with a flathead screwdriver and remove the cover with the brushes. Using a Phillips screwdriver, we unscrew the brush holder and take it out of its place. Using a Phillips screwdriver, we unscrew the gearbox block from the grinder's body. There are 4 mounting bolts here. And we remove the gearbox along with the armature housing. Here you can see that the armature bearing is badly damaged and needs replacement. Using this type of puller, the bearing needs to be removed from its shaft. As you can see, the bearing fell apart during removal. It had to be knocked out in a vise using a regular punch. I will immediately check the second bearing, which is located near the gearbox. We unscrew the gearbox cover. You can see that there is still grease, and we need to reach the bearing. Now, using a Phillips screwdriver, we unscrew the bearing retainer in the gearbox housing. Considering that this piece can no longer be welded, I had to buy a new gearbox housing. Let's remove the upper part of the gearbox. Everything here is as it should be. A new bushing needs to be installed here. Considering that this part is cracked, the bushing is removed very easily. It has almost no wear and can still be used for work. Let's lubricate the bushing seating area with lithol. And carefully press it into its housing to avoid misalignment. Using a small hammer, you gently tap this bushing into the gearbox housing. There it is in its place. To replace this bearing, I will use a new one with an outer diameter of 28 millimeters and an inner diameter of 12 millimeters. Also, lubricate the seating area with lithol. Place the bearing in its position and begin pressing it in. For pressing, I will use a regular bolt and a large washer. Place it on this side, and on the inner side there will also be a small washer and a nut. All that's left is to tighten it. Secure the bearing support bracket with bolts. Now lubricate the armature shaft with a small amount of grease. I am using lithol. And insert this end into the gearbox bearing and tighten with a nut. Tighten with a 13mm wrench with force. I will not replace the gearbox cover because the old one is in good condition. There is no bearing play, and this one can be kept as a spare. All that's left is to thoroughly lubricate the gearbox gears. For this I use a universal gearbox grease that is heat resistant and can withstand heavy loads. Thoroughly apply grease to the gears. And we connect both parts of the gearbox. Now, using fine sandpaper, we clean the motor's lamellas from deposits until they shine. Now they are shining and we can assemble everything into the housing. We place the armature into the winding. And we attach the gearbox to the grinder's housing. And we screw in the brushes with these small screws. We cover the brushes with a protective cap on top. And we fasten it with a large screw. All that's left is to test the operation of the angle grinder, and the job will be complete. To test the grinder to I will attach a tile cutting disc and check how it works. The angle grinder is working without any issues, and we can continue with the repairs.